Imagine traveling nearly 3 billion miles away from the warmth of the Sun, far beyond the worlds we know, beyond the orbit of Saturn, past the pale blue skies of Uranus. Out here, the sunlight has grown weak. On Earth, the sun dominates the sky. It warms our oceans, drives our weather, makes life possible. But here, its light has faded to little more than a distant beacon, nearly 1,000 times dimmer than the sunlight we know. If you stood here and looked toward it, you wouldn't see the blazing star that fills our daytime sky. You would see only an unusually bright star, surrounded by countless others. This is the frontier of our solar system, the last great planet before the endless darkness between the stars. This is Neptune. Cold, silent. From a distance, it appears almost peaceful. A deep blue world drifting through the darkness with elegant bands of cloud wrapped around its atmosphere. Beautiful, almost inviting, but beneath those tranquil clouds lies one of the most violent worlds we have ever discovered, a place where storms scream faster than the speed of sound, where diamonds may fall like rain, where an invisible magnetic field twists in impossible directions, and beyond it, there is almost nothing, only scattered remnants of our solar system before the endless abyss of interstellar space begins. For thousands of years, Neptune remained invisible, not because it was hiding, but because it was simply too far away. No ancient civilization ever knew it existed. No one looked up and wondered about the blue world beyond Saturn. In fact, Neptune became the first planet in history to be discovered before anyone had ever seen it. The story began with another planet, Uranus. As astronomers carefully mapped its journey around the Sun, they noticed something unsettling. Its orbit wasn't quite right. Again and again, it drifted ever so slightly away from where mathematics said it should be. Something unseen was pulling on it. Not a star, not a comet. Something massive, something hidden. Using nothing but pencil, paper, and mathematics, astronomers calculated where this invisible world had to be. Then, on the night of September 23, 1846, they pointed a telescope toward that tiny patch of sky, and there it was, exactly where the equations had predicted. Long before humanity reached the moon, mathematics had already reached Neptune. Since the night Neptune was discovered, it has completed only a single orbit around the Sun, just one. A year on Neptune lasts nearly 165 Earth years. Entire civilizations have risen and fallen, wars have been fought, generations have lived their entire lives, yet Neptune has barely finished one journey around its star. Even the seasons move at an unimaginable pace, or perhaps at an unimaginably slow one. Like Earth, Neptune's axis is tilted. It has spring, summer, autumn, winter. But each season lasts almost 40 Earth years. Imagine being born during the first day of spring and growing old before summer ever arrives. Time itself seems different here. Everything moves more slowly. Everything feels more distant. Even sunlight struggles to reach this frozen world. If distance alone determined a planet's fate, Neptune should be silent. Its atmosphere should be still. Its clouds should barely move. After all, it receives less than 1,000th of the sunlight that reaches Earth. By every expectation, this should be one of the quietest worlds in the solar system. But Neptune refuses to obey. It is home to the fastest winds ever recorded on any planet. Not hundreds, but more than 2,000 kilometers per hour. Storms so powerful, they race faster than the speed of sound on Earth. Imagine standing beneath a sky where the wind itself outruns its own voice. You wouldn't hear the storm approaching, you would become part of it. So where does all this energy come from? The sun can hardly be responsible. It is simply too far away. The answer lies hidden beneath the clouds. Deep inside Neptune, an ancient furnace still burns. Leftover heat from the planet's birth slowly escapes from its interior, feeding the atmosphere with energy. Incredibly, Neptune gives off more heat than it receives from the sun, which raises another mystery. Its neighboring world, Uranus, is remarkably similar in size, composition, and age. Yet Uranus is calm. Neptune rages. Two worlds born from the same cosmic nursery, yet living entirely different lives. Why? We still don't know. In 1989, humanity finally arrived after traveling for 12 long years. Voyager 2 swept past Neptune. To this day, it remains the only spacecraft ever to visit this distant world. What it found surprised everyone. A colossal storm almost as large as Earth itself. Astronomers called it the Great Dark Spot. At first glance, it looked familiar. Jupiter has its Great Red Spot, a storm that has survived for centuries. Surely Neptune's would do the same. But when the Hubble Space Telescope looked again years later, the Great Dark Spot was gone. Not smaller, not weaker. Gone. Then another appeared, in a different place. Then it disappeared too. Unlike Jupiter's eternal storm, Neptune's storms seem almost alive. They emerge from the darkness, roam across the planet, then vanish without warning. Even today, astronomers cannot fully explain why. Perhaps Neptune isn't as peaceful as it appears. Perhaps it's breathing. The deeper we descend, the stranger Neptune becomes far beneath the blue clouds. The atmosphere grows unimaginably heavy. Pressure builds with every kilometer. Thousands, then millions of times greater than anything we experience on Earth. Eventually, matter itself begins to change. The methane hidden within Neptune's interior can no longer remain the way it was. Its carbon atoms are crushed by immense pressure, rearranging themselves into something extraordinary. Diamonds. Not tiny gemstones, not jewels you could hold in your hand. Scientists believe enormous crystals could form here, perhaps larger than buildings, slowly sinking through Neptune's superheated interior like glittering rain. Imagine a world where diamonds fall from the sky, only to disappear into an ocean of scorching fluid beneath them. A planet frozen on the outside, yet hiding unimaginable heat within. It sounds like science fiction, yet according to everything we currently understand, it may be reality. Even the things we cannot see behave strangely here. Every planet with a magnetic field has an invisible shield surrounding it. On Earth, that shield guides our compasses, protects us from charged particles streaming from the sun, and paints the polar skies with brilliant auroras. Neptune has one too, but unlike Earth's, its magnetic field seems almost broken. Instead of passing neatly through the planet's center, it is tilted dramatically and pushed far to one side. No other major planet behaves quite like this. Why? Once again, the answer remains hidden beneath Neptune's clouds. Some scientists believe the magnetic field isn't generated deep within the core at all. Others think Neptune's strange interior twists and distorts it before it ever reaches space. Whatever the truth may be, Neptune continues to challenge everything we expect a planet should be. Neptune is not alone. Orbiting this distant giant is one of the strangest moons in the solar system, the Triton. Unlike almost every large moon we know, Triton travels backwards. It orbits Neptune in the opposite direction of the planet's rotation. A silent clue that it was never truly born here. Long before Neptune claimed it, Triton was likely wandering through the frozen Kuiper Belt, a lonely world drifting through deep space, until one day Neptune's gravity captured it forever. But every capture comes with a price. With each passing year, Triton spirals ever so slightly closer to its giant host. Billions of years from now, Neptune's gravity will finally tear it apart. The fragments will spread across the sky, forming magnificent rings around the planet. A crown forged from the remains of a stolen moon. Beyond Neptune, our familiar solar system begins to fade away. Ahead lies the Kuiper Belt. Beyond that, the distant Oort Cloud, and farther still, the endless darkness between the stars. Neptune is more than the eighth planet. It is the final lighthouse before the abyss, the last great world standing at the edge of the sun's domain. Everything beyond this point becomes quieter, colder, more distant, and infinitely more mysterious. Perhaps that is why Neptune fascinates us, not because it is the coldest or the windiest, or because diamonds may fall beneath its clouds, but because it reminds us how small our corner of the universe truly is, for all our discoveries, for all our telescopes, and every spacecraft we have ever launched. We have only just begun to understand the ocean we call home, beyond Neptune. The darkness is not the end of the journey. It is only where the next one begins.